Greetings and welcome to What's Living in My Yard, where we explore and learn about all the creatures and life forms sharing the space that we call home. My name is Jared Clavin. Thanks a lot for being here. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe and or like anytime. So what are we talking about today? We are going to talk about mice. Those furry little creatures that are so cutely depicted in nursery rhymes and cartoons and stuff. They sing, they dance, they make clothes, they talk to you in funny, nice little voices. But what the cartoons don't show you is that when they're not making you clothes, they're chewing things up, they're pooping everywhere, and they're having a million babies that do the same dang thing. So, I have a very little, actually I don't have any tolerance for mice, or rodents in general. When I know that I've got them, they gotta go. So, I'm going to bring you through the process of how I discovered that I had mice, what I had to do to get rid of them, and the results that came about from that. But before I get onto that, I want to just talk to you about, in general terms, the different ways that you can use to get rid of mice. First of all is prevention. And I'll talk about that, but that's just keeping food inaccessible to mice and rats, if that's a problem for where you live. Closing gaps in your walls and your doors, things like that, so they can't come in. But also, there's a lot of other different ways to trap them and kill them. First of all is the good old-fashioned snap trap. You've got a little trigger that has some food, you've got a metal bar that's, got a spring on it, and when they eat whatever it is that's on that trigger, it snaps their furry little neck and they die instantly. Those work really well, and I'll compare a couple different brands that I bought and show you how they worked. Another is a live trap. Those, if you've got a soft heart, that's a great option. They work really well, and you can actually catch mice and let them go in your neighbor's backyard. That'd be good. The other option is a glue trap. Now, glue traps, I've used them before, and they do work really well. But what that is, this is a heinous way to die. It's a little tray full of glue, and you put it down in the pathway that the mice are walking around your house in. And they stumble across it, they get stuck, and the more they wriggle and try to get themselves free, the more they get stuck. And so they end up just dying in this sticky quicksand. It would be pretty miserable. So I don't use those. Now, if I had a big mouse problem and it was just, all out war, yes, I would use them because they are very effective. But I choose either quick death or no death options. That's my choice. The other way is to poison them. Now the problem with poison is, how do you know where they're going to die? I don't want them to eat this poison that looks like grain or some sort of food pellet and tastes like food pellets. They gobble it up and they die right where they've been living, in my house. So then I have, instead of a bunch of live furry little rodents, I've got a bunch of dead furry little carcasses. I don't want either. I don't want that. I'm not going to use poison. Alright, so let's take a look at the problem that I found, what I had to do about it, and the results that came of it. Well, we have a mouse. For the first time in this house, we have a mouse, at least one. They're running around along the floor, along the side of the wall there underneath the shelves. I haven't been able to find them yet, but I know that they're here because I see their poop all over the place. So I'm going to have to tear stuff up even more and keep looking until I find them. Mouse poop everywhere. I hate it. Turds are everywhere. To mice, nothing is special or sacred, including this Christmas tree. You can see where they burrow it in down there. And I thought I could hose the thing out, but there's poop everywhere. And apparently this is the mouse nursery, because there's two little babies that the mother left behind and actually ate one of their brains partially out. Ugh. I found my backpacks all pooped on. They stink really bad, so I'm going to have to disinfect and clean these off. I hope I can save them because I hate to throw them away. We got one. It was from the good old spring type. So it works, but I will show you something interesting. We used peanut butter, you can see it right there. Ugh. We used peanut butter to get that. Over here, we used cheese. It actually ate the cheese, but the trigger didn't snap. I picked up some Victor traps this time, so we'll see if they're any better than the Tomcat. I did bait them with peanut butter again. That seems to work really well. Well, hey, what do you know? I got two. It can hold 4, but maybe 2 more will join the party later on. Now I can get these buggers out of here and actually let them live instead of breaking their necks. Dun dun dun. 2 more dead. That's good news. So overnight, I caught 4. 2 in that live trap and 2 in these snap traps. It's time to take care of these guys. No, I'm not gonna kill them. The whole idea is to let them go. Ugh, nasty creatures. There they go. Still got one in here. Don't come back! If you do, I'll kill ya! You hear me? I'll kill ya! Get out of here! Never come back again! Flee, be gone! Remember what happened to your family! I bought 2 different kinds of traps, snap traps that is. One of them is the Tomcat, and one of them is the Victor, the classic snap trap. Both of them worked, but the Tomcat only had a 50% success rate. And the way I know that is, I bought a 2-pack. One of them caught a mouse the very first night, success. The other one, this one, I put cheese and I put peanut butter on this very trigger multiple times, only to have it eaten off with no dead mouse in the morning. So 50% fail rate, I don't think that's very good. Victor, on the other hand, every time I put peanut butter and every time that peanut butter was attempted to be eaten, I caught a mouse. So that was 100% success rate. Now the thing about it is, not every trap I put out caught a mouse because there weren't enough mice to go around. But every trigger that got eaten on caught a mouse. So 100% success rate for these. The Victor catch and hold was also a good one. You remember I caught 2 mice, so I would call that a success. I mean, that was good. I was able to let them go out into the wild, where they are now probably being chased around by cats if they're not already eaten. But this worked really well too if you have a softer heart and just want to give them a fair chance out in the wild later on. So overall, Victor is the winner for sure. Well, now that I've got those mice under control, either dead or removed, I've learned a few things. First of all is prevention. There's a couple things of prevention that would have saved me a lot of hassle. Keeping my garage clean. I'm not talking about garagey stuff being messy here and there. I'm talking about food, attractants. I found a couple old lunch sacks that my boys had thankfully tossed out so kindly onto my shelves that attracted mice. Holes were burrowed right into them and the peanut butter sandwiches were munched. The other thing, I found a 72-hour kit with an old power bar and some peanuts in it that was torn into and munched all up. So keeping the attractants, keeping the food away from, well, keeping it inaccessible, I think is the main thing. The other thing is gaps. If you've got gaps under a side door, or if you've got gaps in your trim or some other place that will allow mice to come into your garage or into your house, get some caulking or some foam or both and fill those things in, fill those gaps. Because mice typically aren't going to walk right through the front door. They're going to find some dark little hole at night that they can wriggle through and then make your garage or your house their home. So plug those things up ahead of time. The other thing is, once you do recognize and realize that you have a mouse, the need for speed is of vital importance. These things, once they get in there, even if it's just one, they're going to be calling for a mate, they're going to get busy, they're going to have a load of babies, and before you know it, you're going to have just a family of eating, pooping machines that will stink up your garage and tear it up in no time. So act fast. Once you know you have even just one, spare it no mercy. If you want to catch it in a live trap, fine. But if you need to kill it, fine. Whatever you do, just get rid of it, because they will destroy your stuff. Just remember my backpack. Remember my Christmas tree. Don't let that happen to you. It's disgusting, and it stinks really bad. Here's a little gift my neighbor's cat left for us. And some weirdos have these things as pets. I don't get it, personally. Thanks for watching. See you next time.